only 39% of workers negotiated their salary for their current job. The rest left an average of $7,500 on the table, according to data compiled by Recruiter Contacts in 2026. Here is what makes that number even more painful. 73% of employers say they fully expect candidates to negotiate. They build room for a counteroffer into every initial offer they make. When you do not negotiate, you are not being gracious. You are handing back money they already set aside for you. And here is the compounding problem most people never think about. Future raises, bonuses, and promotions are almost always calculated as a percentage of your base salary. If your base is $5,000 lower than it should be today, every raise for the rest of your time at that company is calculated on a lower number. Over a 10-year career, that gap does not stay at $5,000. It grows into $50,000, $80,000, or even $100,000 in lost lifetime earnings from a single conversation you chose not to have. In this video, we are covering everything you need to walk into that conversation prepared. The data on what actually works and what backfires. The exact scripts and phrases that get results. How to negotiate not just salary, but the full compensation package. And what to do if they say the offer is final. Let us start with the number that should make every professional uncomfortable. The cost of not negotiating. Research published in 2025 and 2026 consistently shows that people who negotiate their salary receive an average of 18.83% more than those who accept the first offer. Some secure increases of up to 100%. On a $60,000 offer, 18.83% is $11,298. On an $80,000 offer, it is $15,064. On a $100,000 offer, it is $18,830. In a single conversation, the Career Builders survey found that 73% of employers are willing to negotiate, yet 55% of candidates never even ask. The door is open. Most people never walk through it. And when researchers asked workers who did not negotiate why, they stayed silent. 38% said they lacked the confidence to ask. 42% among women. 46% among workers aged 18 to 29. The fear is almost always the same. What if they withdraw the offer? Research consistently shows that managers withdraw offers after a counteroffer far less often than candidates believe. It is extremely rare. Companies expect you to negotiate. They respect good negotiators. They want that person on their side of the table. Before the negotiation, the research phase, the single most effective preparation step is anchoring yourself in real market data. Before any salary conversation, you need to know 3 numbers: your market rate, your target number, and your walk-away number. Here is how to find your market rate in 2026. Glassdoor and LinkedIn salary are your starting points. Search your exact job title in your exact city. Look at the range and identify the midpoint and the upper end. Levels.fyi is essential if you are in technology. It breaks compensation into base salary, bonus, and equity for accurate total package comparisons. The Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook gives you median wage data by occupation and industry, especially useful for non-tech roles. Payscale and Salary.com provide role-specific ranges you can filter by years of experience and location. The Robert Half 2026 Salary Guide covers projected starting salaries across 7 professional fields and is one of the most reliable current benchmarks. Once you have your range, identify your target number. Ask for the top of your justified range, not the middle. Employers expect a counteroffer. They typically leave room for one in the initial offer. If you ask for the top of the range and they come down, you land in the middle. If you ask for the middle and they come down, you land below fair market value. Always anchor high within the justified range. When to negotiate? The best moment to negotiate is after you receive a written offer, but before you accept it. This is your highest leverage moment. The company has already decided they want you. They have invested time in interviews, reference checks, and the offer process. Walking away now costs them significantly more than paying you fairly. Never negotiate before you have a written offer. Never negotiate in the first interview when asked about salary expectations. If asked early in the process, deflect with this phrase. Say, I am still learning about the full scope of the role. I would love to discuss compensation once we have both determined this is a strong mutual fit. That response keeps the door open without anchoring yourself too low too early. How to start the negotiation. Most people make negotiation harder than it needs to be. You do not need a lengthy speech. You do not need to justify every dollar. You need one clear, confident ask. Here is the exact script that research shows works. After receiving the offer, say, "Thank you so much for the offer. I am genuinely excited about this role and the team. Based on my research into market rates for this position and my experience, I was expecting something closer to your target number. Is there flexibility there?" Then stop talking. This is critical. After you state your number, go silent. The first person to speak after an ask almost always concedes ground. Let them respond. What you will almost always hear is one of three things. Yes, we can do that. We can meet you in the middle at number. Or that is the top of our range, but let us see what else we can do. All three of those responses are wins. The only outcome that is not a win is if you never ask. Negotiating with data. The most powerful version of the ask includes a market data reference. Say, based on data from Glassdoor, LinkedIn Salary, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the market rate for this role in this city ranges from low to high. My target based on my X years of experience and specific skill or achievement is target number. I wanted to share that context so you can see where I am coming from. This approach works because it removes the conversation from personal opinion. You are not saying you think you deserve more. You are saying the market data says this is what the role is worth. That is a much easier conversation for a hiring manager to take to their leadership for approval. Negotiating a raise at your current job. Everything we have covered applies to new job offers. But what about asking for a raise where you already work? The research shows that workers who change jobs can negotiate raises of up to 20%, compared to average annual merit increases of 3.7% for people who stay. That gap is significant, and it compounds over time. But if you are not ready to switch jobs, internal raises are still worth pursuing. Here is how to approach it. Timing matters enormously for internal raise requests. The best time is after a visible win, a completed project, a positive performance review, or a moment when your contribution was clearly recognized. Never ask for a raise when the company is going through layoffs or budget cuts. Read the room before you walk into the room. The internal raise script looks like this. Say, I wanted to talk about my compensation. Over the past time period, I have specific achievement with a number attached. Based on my research, the market rate for someone in my role with my experience is range. I would like to discuss getting my compensation to target number. Can we make that happen? The key phrase is with a number attached. Saying I increased our sales is weak. Saying I increased our sales by 34% in the past 2 quarters, generating an additional $280,000 in revenue, is impossible to ignore. Quantify your impact before you walk into the conversation. What to do when they say the offer is final? This is the moment most people give up. They hear the words best and final offer, and they accept defeat. Here is what the research actually shows. Employers have been increasingly characterizing their first offer as best and final since early 2025. It is a negotiation tactic, not necessarily a fact. Here is how to respond without burning the relationship. Say, I appreciate you sharing that. I want to be transparent with you. The role is exciting, and I am very interested. I just want to make sure we can find a number that works for both of us long term. Is there any flexibility at all on the base, even by a small amount? If the answer is truly no on base salary, pivot immediately to the full compensation package, because if they cannot move on base, they often can move on everything else. Negotiating the full compensation package. Salary is one line item in your total compensation. Most people negotiate only that line and leave significant value on the table elsewhere. Here are the things that are negotiable beyond base salary. Signing bonus. This often comes from a completely different budget line than salary and is frequently easier to approve. A company that cannot add $10,000 annually might readily approve a $7,500 signing bonus. Remote or hybrid flexibility. This saves real money on commuting, childcare, and work clothing, and has a genuine dollar value that should be part of your calculation. Additional vacation days. One extra week of paid time off on a $70,000 salary is worth approximately $1,346 in paid time you do not have to use. Professional development budget. Courses, certifications, and conferences that build your long-term earning power at the company's expense. Earlier performance review. Ask for a 6-month check-in with a defined salary target tied to measurable goals. If they cannot give you the salary today, lock in a path to it in writing. Equity or profit sharing. At growth stage, companies this can outpace any base salary difference over time. Title upgrade. A higher title at one company often unlocks a higher starting salary at the next one. Health insurance contribution. If the company offers multiple health plan tiers, ask which one they will cover fully. Upgrading your covered plan can be worth thousands per year. A company that says no to every one of these requests is telling you something important about how they value their employees. That information is worth having before you accept. Handling common objections. Objection 1. You do not have enough experience yet. Response. I understand the concern. I want to show you that my specific skill or experience directly addresses the core need for this role. What specific experience would make you comfortable meeting me at target number? I want to know exactly what I need to demonstrate. That response turns an objection into a roadmap. Objection 2. This is our standard salary for this level. Response. I appreciate that context. My research shows the market rate for this role is range. Is there a pathway to get to that range, either now or tied to specific performance milestones in the first 6 months? Objection 3. The budget is locked for this quarter. Response. That makes sense given timing. Can we agree in writing to revisit my compensation at the start of next quarter? Tied to specific deliverable? I want to make sure we are aligned on a clear path forward. Every objection is an opening to find a creative solution. The goal is not to win an argument. It is to reach an agreement that reflects your actual value. Pay transparency laws. Your new advantage. In 2026, approximately 15 states now have pay transparency laws requiring employers to post salary ranges in job listings. States including Colorado, New York, California, Washington, and Illinois lead this movement. These laws are a significant advantage for candidates. When a job posting shows a range of $75,000 to $110,000, you know immediately that the top of the range is real. It is not a fantasy number. Anchor your ask at the top of the posted range and justify it with your experience and market data. Never assume the posted range means you should ask for the middle. The company posted the full range because they are willing to pay it for the right candidate. Your job in the negotiation is to demonstrate that you are that candidate. Even in states without transparency laws, you can use posted ranges from similar roles at similar companies to establish your market rate anchor. The lifetime math of negotiating. Let us run the numbers one final time. Starting salary without negotiating, $65,000. Starting salary after one negotiation, $72,800. An 18.83% increase. Annual merit raise of 3% applied to each base for 10 years. After 10 years, the non-negotiator earns approximately $87,000 per year. After 10 years, the negotiator earns approximately $97,800 per year. The annual difference after 10 years, approximately $10,800 per year. Total cumulative earnings difference over 10 years, over $85,000 from one 5-minute conversation. That is the real cost of staying silent. And it does not stop there. A higher base salary means larger 401k matches, larger bonus calculations, larger stock grant bases, and a higher starting point for every future employer who asks what you currently make. One negotiation compounds for decades. Your action plan this week. Step 1. Research your market rate today. Go to Glassdoor LinkedIn Salary and the BLS Occupational Outlook Handbook. Find the range for your exact role in your exact city. Identify the top of the justified range as your target number. Step 2. Write down your 3 numbers: your target number, your realistic expected number, and your walk-away number below, which you will not accept. Step 3. Write out your negotiation script. Customize the scripts from this video to your specific role, experience, and target number. Practice saying them out loud until they feel natural. Step 4. Identify your quantified achievements. Write down 3 to 5 specific accomplishments with numbers attached: revenue generated, costs reduced, projects completed on time and under budget, team size managed. These are your ammunition in any salary conversation. Step 5. If you are currently employed, pick your moment. Identify the next visible win in your current role. Prepare your case now so you are ready to walk into that conversation the moment the timing is right. The worst outcome of a salary negotiation is that they say no, and you are exactly where you are today. The best outcome is tens of thousands of dollars you would otherwise have left behind. The asymmetry of that risk is so obvious that the only question is why more people do not ask. Now you know what to say and how to say it. If this video gave you something useful, hit subscribe. Every week on the Compound Brief, we break down careers, money, real estate, and business in plain English. No fluff, no gatekeeping. Next week, we are covering how to start an LLC in 2026 step by step, including what most people get wrong that costs them money from day one. That video drops next week. See you then.